Whenever I think about how Democrats have been acting recently, I guess really the past couple years, but more so now that the whole impeachment thing has, uh, you know, just completely blown up and really blown up in their faces. But I keep going back to something that I saw. I don't want to say it's something that happened to me because it didn't happen to me, but it was something that happened when gosh, like almost 20 years ago. I used to work at an ice cream shop, and it was the middle of winter. And so, if you ever want a quiet place to work, an ice cream shop during the middle of the week, in the middle of winter, is a really good spot. And I was just busy being a total loser, going to kind of farting around at community college, and no diss to community colleges. I think they're great, but I wasn't taking it seriously, is what I mean. Just working little BS jobs, spending my money on like weed and Adderall, and um, I was working one day, and this couple came in, and they were all cutesy and smiles, and I'm there. I'm the only one there. I was the manager, and or I guess the supervisor, but I was the only one there. And this couple comes in. They're flirting. They're trying to figure out what they want, and I was half watching them, half not, just like waiting for them to kind of give that body language that they'd made up their mind. And out of nowhere, the guy reached out and smacked the girl across the jaw. Like it wasn't like a full, like backhand kind of smack. It was really small and subtle and quick. But and I could tell by his face he thought he was being playful, but I could also tell it was hard. It made, it made an impact, and the girl looked like she was about to cry. And it shocked me that someone would be so violent to another person like that in public. That a guy that anyone, I'm not one of those people that thinks like domestic violence only happens to women, but in this case it was a man against a woman. But had the genders been reversed, it would have still bothered me deeply to watch the face of this girl just like crumble, being totally happy and smiling and laughing one second, and then the very next moment just being about to cry. And this poor thing just had, her eyes like glued to the ground. She was embarrassed. She was, humiliated that he would do that. And I don't think he even understood what he'd just done, and how much it could hurt someone. And so they then came up to try to order, and I told him to get out. I actually, I had one of those, those moments where like things happen to you, and afterward you think of the right thing to say, and you like kick yourself, like, why didn't I say that then? This was actually one of those times where I actually like had, you know a cohesive response to this. And I said something like, look, if she wants to let you treat her like that, that's her business. But this is my business, and you're not going to treat someone like that while I'm on duty. So you can get the F out. I'm not serving you. And the guy, initially, he was like trying to laugh it off, trying to say it was a joke. And, I said, look at her face. Look at her. Really look at her. And he looked at her and saw that like she was, she wanted to cry. She was embarrassed, and, eyes glued to the floor, wouldn't say anything. And he asked to speak to my manager, and I got to have one of those, well, I am the manager, and I'm just telling you to get the F out. Or I'll call the police, and they can tell you to get the F out. So they left. And I tried to connect with her before they walked out. I looked at her, I made eye contact, and said, please stay. Can I call someone for you? Can I have someone come pick you up? Can I do anything to try to help you? Please stay here with me. Don't leave. But your boyfriend's got to go. And she, acknowledged it, but shook her head, and eyes went right back glued to the floor, and they left. And I remember feeling so helpless for this girl, this woman. At the time she was probably right around my age, and I wanted so badly to, physically rescue her from this situation. And I still think about her. 20 years later, I think about her face in that moment and what could have been going through her mind. And I think about what could have happened after they left. And I worry about her. But ultimately, I was powerless to do anything. All I could do was give her the opportunity to escape. And she needed to take it. I couldn't make her, even though I really wanted to. And this is how I feel when I when I see some of these Democrats, when I see a lot of these leftists that are still just, adamantly gripped on to this globalist narrative they've been sold, and this lie that they really believe that they are somehow doing the right thing. Meanwhile, they're acting like authoritarians, like as I said, like globalists, like pawns of the people who are truly in power that want to destroy this country, because this country is the last vestige of freedom. It's the last vestige of an armed population that cannot be controlled. And so we must be stamped out, we must be bred out, we must be re-educated. And I look at these people who have been completely re-educated, and this willful ignoring of facts and evidence. How many times do we show them videos that prove that what they've said is wrong? How many times have we shared, that video that debunks that Trump made fun of a disabled reporter? How many times do we show the full clip where he did not call all Mexicans rapists? How many times do we show the full video where he unequivocally denounced white supremacy while he was talking about Charlottesville? And it doesn't matter. And no matter how much evidence, no matter how many facts you put in front of their face, they don't care. And to take this away from Trump, because I know, a lot of people that watch this are independents. There's a lot of people that don't trust Trump, and I get that. And, we'll go with today's the March for Life over in DC. You show these pro-choice, lunatics, the actual science behind life, the fact that scientists have long been saying that human life, as we conceive it, as we, know it, it begins at conception. And it doesn't matter. They don't care. They keep wanting to stick to the same lies they've been fed for decades, and I'm losing hope that any of these people can be helped. I'm losing hope that any of them can still be reached. I feel like if you haven't woken up by now, if you haven't walked away by now, you're never going to, and I don't like feeling that way. I don't like having that sort of black-pilled sort of viewpoint on politics right now, but I don't see any other way that I'm supposed to think. I don't see any other conclusion that I can reach other than these people are not going to be helped. They're not going to be rescued. They're not going to be saved. They don't want to be. And as I said, there's a lot of independents that watch this channel, and I love you guys. And so don't think that I completely am only looking at leftists right now. I'm seeing way too many conservatives, way too many Republicans that just like blindly worship Trump like he's, the second coming of the Messiah. And I find that equally disturbing. No man should have your adulation. No man should be put up on the same pedestal that many of us put Christ on. To see to see so many people like rabidly defend him like he is God, it's just gross, and I don't like that either. Those people, though, I find I'm still able to have some conversations with, as long as you don't criticize Trump. As soon as you criticize Trump, they just go insane and they start calling you a leftist or whatever. And that's equally as annoying. But, this hero worship that we put on human beings, it's not healthy. And ultimately, we're going to be the ones that look stupid. People are fallible. Men make mistakes, men and women. They mess up. Sometimes they break the law. Sometimes they say things they shouldn't. And, while I personally, I think most of us that are watching this could say, like, everything we've seen, all the evidence regarding impeachment, he didn't break the law. He hasn't done anything wrong as far as we know. But I would hope that if like completely certifiable, absolutely, uncontested evidence were to come out showing that Trump committed some kind of crime, I would hope that the majority of people that are conservatives, that are Republicans, would step up and do the right thing and say, this is wrong. I just, there's so much like dogmatic, sticking to sides right now. And it makes me feel like there's no reaching some people, These people that worship Trump and these people that hate him, with the same level of passion. It's sad. It's really sad. But I see this being more destructive on the left. If it were just a matter of like, okay, go ahead and believe whatever you want, and you do you over there, and you let me live my life over here, then I wouldn't really care as much. I'd look at them and I would feel pity for them, but I would move on with my life. The problem is that these leftists want to control policy. They want to enforce their will on everyone else. And that's why I can't just look at them with pity, because their stance is dangerous. Their stance is dangerous to me. It challenges my way of life. It challenges my beliefs. It doesn't allow me to live the way that I want as an American. And so my anger, my ire is much stronger for the left because of that. And I'm really trying, I was after everything that happened last year, I've been trying to approach 2020 more positively. And this is the one area where I feel like I'm not making any headway. It just keeps getting worse and worse every day. And, I hope that some of you in the comments can give me some white pills. I would love that. If there are ways that you're able to, just suck it up and move on and go about your day, let me know, because every day I see these people on in different videos, and I was gonna say I see these people on the news, but nobody in the news actually talks about anything of importance anymore. But you know what I mean. I see all these people every day, and I just shake my head, and I just like there's no helping you. There's no helping them anymore, and I think that's really sad.